Andy Farrell and Scott Robertson have named their Matchday 23 for the Soldier Field Showdown, the Chicago Showdown, first leg of the All Blacks Grand Slam Tour, Ireland versus the All Blacks at Soldier Field, where we all remember the last time they played there was Ireland's first ever win over the All Blacks. But before we get into any of that, what's up guys, Dane here from Kick On Rugby. I'm your host, and we'll be covering all things Autumn Nation series. Going to try my best to cover all of it at least. And I do have the goal of hitting 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Hit that subscribe, join in on the comments, share this video with your mates, get involved. Love to have discussions in the comment section. So let me know what you think of these squads, what you think of the Autumn Nation series coming up. How do you see this game playing out? What matchups are you most looking forward to? Let's get into it. So we'll run through the squads first, talk about that quickly, then where I see the game won or lost, maybe one or two matchups, and the bold prediction at the end. As always, jump in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Let's get into it. So Ireland, Andrew Porter, Dan Sheehan, Tyg Furlong. Dan Sheehan, captain. James Ryan, Tyg Byrne in the locks, and then Ryan Beard, Josh Vanderflee, and Jack Conan, the back row. And the backs is Jamison Gibson-Park, Jack Crowley, Stuart McCloskey, Gary Ringrose, James Lowe, Tommy O'Brien, and Jamie Osborne. And on the bench, we've got Ronan Gallagher, Paddy McCarthy with the asterisk next to his name because he's on debut. What a game to debut on. Think about it quickly. The history with All Blacks and Ireland at Soldier Field in America, it's probably sold out, so like 70,000 plus, and it's your debut game. Like, I don't care who you support, whatever. Just think about that for a second. Your first game ever is a fixture like this, Ireland versus the All Blacks, at a venue like Soldier Field in Chicago where they'll have 70 plus thousand people there. Man, next to playing at your home ground, that has got to be next best, for sure. Finlay Bealham, Ian Henderson, Caelan Doris, Craig Casey, Sam Prendergast, and Bundy Aki. Caelan Doris back on the bench. It'll be his first game in over, I think it's like 8 months. It's been a while. When did he do his shoulder? Was it the semi-final or the final of the Champions Cup last year? Or at the start, like earlier this year? It's been a while. So good to see him back in there. I thought he might have start so that he only gets a couple of minutes, like 30, 40 minutes, and then they bring him off. Because the only issue now is if a back rower gets injured early on in the game, then you have to bring Doris on. But I guess that's why they have someone like Ryan Beard and Tyg Byrne who can cover. So if a back rower gets injured, you shift one of them, you bring Ian Henderson on. So I guess they've made that move. So if shit hits the fan there, you've got guys that can cover. Love to see Jack Crowley in a 10. He's been the form 10 for Ireland, or for Munster, but for Ireland as a whole the past couple of weeks. And good to see him get the nod there. Stuart McCloskey come in at 12. Don't mind that at all. Bundy Aki did have a bit of a niggle leading into this week. And McCloskey's been really good for Ulster, but big boy, gets over that vantage line, and that matchup between him and Geordie Barrett. We'll get into that, but that is looking forward to that one. I do also like the back three selections for Ireland here. Obviously, James Lowe, there's more to it for this game when he comes up against a lot of his mates, a lot of guys that he's played with. So there's more of that personal feel to it. He's obviously got the big left boot. Then you look, Jamie Osborne and Tommy O'Brien. That's two pocket rockets for me. That's two dynamite comes in small packages. Those guys are going to go 110% for the full 80 minutes. So looking forward to that as well. Then jumping over to New Zealand, to the All Blacks. So we've got Ethan de Groot, Cody Taylor, Fletcher Newell up front, Scott Barrett, Fabian Holland. Scott Barrett, obviously captain. Back row of Simon Parker, Artie Savia, Peter Lakai, Cam Roygard, Bowden Barrett, 9 and 10. Then Geordie Barrett, Quinn Tupaia in the centres, and back three of Caleb Clark, Leroy Carter, Will Jordan. On the bench, Samasoni Tokiaho, Tamaidi Williams, Pasilio Tossi, Josh Lord, Wallace Atiti, Cortez Ratima, Lester Fainganuku, and Damien McKenzie. Talk about that bench quickly. That's what you talk about, punch off the bench. Imagine bringing Wallace Atiti, Lester Fainganuku, Damien McKenzie on at the same time. Talk about punch. And in that front row, Tokiaho, Williams, and Tossi. Man, that's what I've been saying it for a long time now. This All Blacks, they've got a strong squad. They just haven't been able to put that over into a full 80-minute performance. And I think that's one thing Razor is focusing on this Autumn Nation series, is just getting a full 80-minute performance out of the squad. It's a great squad. On paper, very exciting, very explosive, very like physical and can beat a team how they want to type team, but they just haven't been able to convert that into actually playing a full 80 minutes of rugby. So that's one thing they'll want to do in this Autumn Nation series. So looking at the team quick, a few ins and outs. Love the centre combination. Like Quintupai was outstanding versus the Wallabies in that last game of the Rugby Championship. So they've kept that centre pairing there. Peter Lakai comes in at 8. That's probably one position where they're still kind of umming and ahhing, trying to figure that out. But that back row, that's scary. Any back row with Audie Savia in, let's be honest, it's scary scenes. The only problem that they're having and going to have they're going to have is if they get one or two more injuries at lock. They've had the worst run of lock injuries. They don't want to have that. I don't think Josh Lord is up to international rugby yet. Yes, he's had a couple of games there, but there's not much coming off the bench with regards to excitement or keeping that same level of intensity. You've got Fabian Holland and Scott Barrett that are here, and then Josh Lord would be there for me. So that's again, yes, they've had a lot of injuries there, and the chances of them having more injuries there is very unlikely, but hopefully they don't. Quick matchups. I'm going in the centres first. Geordie Barrett versus Stuart McCloskey. That's nice. Like that. Two very similar mold of them, very similar build type players. Long, lanky, bigger. Do love to run the ball straight. Geordie Barrett's probably got a bit more skill set within his toolbox of playing, but that'll be a nice one. Both will look to get over that vantage line first and then look to go wide. But I like that matchup there. Obviously, Beauden Barrett, Jack Crowley, that is a big one. Who's going to control their team the best? Who's going to make the right decisions? Whose forward pack is going to allow their 10 to do what they do, to be able to sit back in the pocket, have time on their hands, kick to corners or play, or have time to just make those decisions? That is a big one. Then obviously Audie Savia coming up against Josh van der Fleer. That's two of the best going at it. Audie Savia at the moment's probably got form on his side because he's been playing a lot more at a higher level. That's just because the Southern Hemisphere had their fixtures now, and Northern Hemisphere have only just started their season again, but it's always a good battle when Josh van der Fleer and Audie Savia come up against each other. Both very similar style players. Audie Savia's probably got a bit more attacking prowess within his skill set, within his gameplay, but both just animals that break down and get through a ton of work. So I'm looking forward to that battle. Another battle with Fabian Holland coming up against Tyke Byrne. Don't mind that at all. Tyke Byrne, one of the best players in world rugby at the moment, for sure. The importance of him in this Irish team, it's matched with the importance of Audie Savia in the All Blacks team. Tyke Byrne gets through a ton of work, obviously runs the line out. He's an option at back row as well. Gets around the park, gets through a ton of work. So coming up against the newbie in Fabian Holland, love to see that new excitement of a new player versus the experience of Tyke Byrne. So that'll be a lovely battle. And then the front row battle. Love a front row battle. Again, I'm not one for the dark arts. I just know when a team is getting dominated up front. You can see it. And usually that's where a game is won or lost. So that first scrum, are you dominating ruck time? Are you getting over the ad line with your ball carries? Are you being able to run those plays right up at the line and throw the balls out the back? That's where your Tyg Furlong comes in, your Cody Taylors, your Ethan de Groots. Lovely battle that up front. And that's where I think the game's going to be won or lost, up front and at set piece. Are you going to win your scrums? Are you going to win your lineouts? Are you going to go forward first before going wide? Most coaches say it all the time. Boys, we need to go forward first. Then you need to earn the right to go wide. It's a cliche, but it is true. You need to be able to go forward first before you can spread the ball. That's where the game is going to be won or lost here. Physical in the contact areas. Can you dominate your ball? Can you disrupt the opposition's ball? Arie Savea, Josh van der Flier, can you get in there, get a few turnovers, and can you secure your own ball? I think aerially, so the kicking battle, Jamison Gibson-Park's got a good kick on him, Jack Crowley, James Lowe, big boots on them. And on the other side, Cam Roygaard's got a good box kick. Beauden Barrett's got an educated boot, sometimes kicks a bit too much, but Geordie Barrett's got a big boot as well. And then can the likes of Will Jordan, Jamie Osborne on the other side, can they get up there and win those aerial battles? It's very important. No matter what games are played, the kicking battle is always an important one. And then receiving or catching those balls. This is going to be what a game. What a game. I don't want to. I feel, like I said, I think it's the Kick On Rugby Cup. With the amount of followers I have or subscribers I have, it's split in Ireland and New Zealand. It's good for both. Big for both. Do I say a draw? No, I'm going to go for it. My gut is going All Blacks to win this one, mainly off the back of that they've come off the back of a rugby championship, and Ireland have only had 1 or 2 weeks together, and their season has only just started. And I said it in my Autumn Nations series preview, the Northern Hemisphere sides are going to get better with weeks that go on in this Autumn Nations series. They might struggle to start with, and then they're going to get better as combinations, as time on field, as all of that ramps up. So I'm going to go All Blacks to win this one. Irish fans, don't shoot me down. It's just what I feel in my gut. All Blacks to win this one by 5 in an absolute cracker. Regardless of how many or how much weeks or how much hours Ireland have had together only, they're going to turn up for this game. It's going to be big. I can't wait for it. As always, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of it? Where do you see this game won or lost? Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye.